Abu so unim Stellar Agency Stellar Agency eho ana mamu hye Kamavinga wo Konate wo what the Kenya story no ho sa Stellar Agency ho no eho ana Fermin Lopez of Barcelona ewo na Stellar Agency for ne call Barcelona so ye say ba say teams ne tata ye dodo bebre na ba say omo pe Fermin Lopez Inter for the omo di aba AC for the omo di aba Bayern for the omo di aba teams ne tata ye say omo pe Fermin Lopez na letters abeka ho ne ye Chelsea bo boku no Chelsea for no so say omo pe Fermin Lopez o na sa komodidie ne kosoa no onim say super agent Pini Zahavi ehase so Chelsea for contactee Pini Zahavi ana omo ka che ne say omakra na kra na ye fa ni nkuku no on pese omu ja ne kwan ana Pini Zahavi so work say obema nkuku enye top team na mapo UEFA Champions League next season a team omo bo attacking football and so omo say ya link nkuku to Bayern Bebrea e Pini Zahavi ana yes ade no ana Pini Zahavi so a good relationship with Juan Laporta na down for pano no even at the time mpokra Pini Zahavi ebaba worry ye Juan Laporta okoda fie ho eye adwuma ta Pini Zahavi echi eye Pini Zahavi ana de Lewandowski buy na ka Lewandowski opportunity so be teams kese Pini Zahavi ndi babasa Hansi Flick eye ono a enti na Pini Zahavi person use the relationship with on Barcelona for no enti anka nkuku embra Barcelona na Fermin Lopez enko Chelsea eno na Barcelona for ne hwese na Pini Zahavi pa nkuku o ya de ba ye hia no Fermin Lopez no o ye project no so ye nton no enti omo reject sa swap deal say nkuku mbra Barcelona na Fermin Lopez enko Chelsea no ana Chelsea ka say omo mpe nkuku dia na ska no mo pa onim say kwaku Chelsea sa offer 75 million euros
na meti sa asem na e chima dwen so pa
after Barcelona rejecting nkuku Fermin Lopez swap no ana Chelsea say mo mpe nkuku na mo peska ene ye the 75 million euros ebre mo because Enzo Maresca say o Fermin Lopez and so Barcelona rejected na kwaku nim die ehu pa after sa the course no Juan Laporta ne Hansi Flick hia Juan Laporta kwaku die meteye no Juan Laporta say Fermin Lopez no say crazy amount about metimejano
Kwame me feel say Barca 70 essence of moton Fermin Lopez
adai
Kwame onye starter o Barca so ozi obi onye starter o team so be offer 70 million na yambon tonkone
okay
sa number 10 ho no say Daniel Monaje sa position na boso
but who said the last time Hansi Flick you say uyi Lamine Mone Rafi obi enu o position o starting position o kanekwa
but because coming obi onye starter na obi the 70 million aba you take it they are equally good guys say Barcelona kwada moment me promote to omo aba me one
until swap no there be
swap there
75 million euros nso there be but Juan Laporta say crazy amount be ba
crazy ni e dey 70 crazy kware na
the baby say opebe 100 million euros above enti kwaku de eba no goalkeeper Donnarumma situation e mu ayedin still na the PSG for person mu renew the contract na omo ne Enzo Raiola etwetwe nkomo no Donnarumma say equally also a very important for PSG na UEFA Champions League na PSG koje no most especially knockout stage no Donnarumma ni key ana mo omo je enti o person beka the highest paid players e o PSG bobuko nim on say currently Mbappe free PSG no Diogiska kese pa ye Dembele 80 million euros na Kvaratskhelia tosu mienu Marquinhos tosu miensa Hakimi Ashraf tosu ana Lucas Hernandez na yese de she Donnarumma cry Lucas Hernandez no Lucas Hernandez edge 13.2 ana Donnarumma edge 12.7 into a person beka the highest paid players no team my friend say PSG for so omon pese omo besa ama omo salary structure no asase into omo ni negotiate entimin siye onim say already yedi kia ba beka Inter de no ya beka Juventus de no onim say Bayern e de omo ho agim Bayern for Donnarumma Bayern e wo goalkeeping issue enche bi ama no ya don't mean count on him anymore. Enti Donnarumma Bayern latest team awaba. Officially Rafael Leao a communicate actually AC Milan for say opeso free o. Now oh yes story no. Rafael Leao wa money agents no aka actually AC Milan for say opeso free bobo konim. On next season AC Milan emko Europe a domestic competition in Kwanobebo. And Rafael Leao will contract to 2028. Our will release clause of 175 million euros. Team bien who are ready so bet you our release clause no. Now Bayern for air pen. Kwaku in Bayern for offer no. AC Milan for Masalegri say omunkipu bowi. Or person top players ni no omunkipu no AC Milan. Because omunkipu omu top players na ene bema ometimi qualify ba Europe next season. And I said the following season be. Now AC for nso won say akra we were stubborn. Rafael Leao no. Waka so obeko no ma na nkwa na ma ne tena obe ha adwen. Ento ma ka che Bayern for say Bayern for a guarantee fee of 70 million euros. Pay kin kan enye installment. Enye si etue bi eja bi. Samo de 70 million euros ni nyina ba, on betima ma Rafael Leao akọ. Na Bayern for decide say 70 ni de omunya. Na nkomo di 50 na kwaku 50 no omede beko no. 3 players AC Milan ni baako. Enti Bayern decide say omo di 50 million euros. Kingsley Coman, Kim, omo center back no.
Kim Injai.
Ana Leon Goretzka. Enti 50 million ana 3 players no. AC eni baako.
Kwame Mpacho. Then of course we AC Milan side because Setijani Rendes uton 70 million euros. How now budget 70 for Rafael Leao.
Say boy name pressure man team ya so nya ready say
Leao there. So what Setijani Rendes 70 or say Leao no. Go release clause. In this a better soprano be 80 90 million or so.
Me no ya adwen.
What I say? I say I former be.
Ayefo. Say boy na nkasa onso kra no so why
be performance na
ayi bi ho. Dia kan ma memo boso. Okay, Emerick Laporte, former Manchester City defender no. Ayi say okọ El Nassr no. Opeso ofi bobo konim.
Omo na epam no.
Ono so peso ofi na El Nassr for so peso omo eja ne kwan. Na omo to no 23.6 million pounds for Man City. Me no ka say Napoli Antonio Conte ese ope Emerick Laporte. On say next season Champions League no Napoli peso omo hwehwe De Bruyne ye ohwa say no omo pe Emerick Laporte we chiro. El Nassr for say Napoli betua 23 million pounds for Emerick Laporte. Marcel Ewumbi Galatasaray na Fenerbahce omo nyina pa brante no. Monaco for right back bi oye Ivory Coast ni your friend Winfred Zingo. Na kra no omo kofa ni from Torino. Obai 2 seasons ni yesi owo energy owo power no owo pace oye right back. Wa be perform very well e wo Monaco. Arsenal for abawrem so omo pe Winfred Zingo. Also already Arsenal right back no mo Timber and omo Ben White. Ba say injuries timiba and omo so pro omo prache. Enti Arsenal Arteta ni mpanyimfo he say Winfred Zingo of Monaco on betimenya no ebo no e 25 million euros and ye say betima ba. Me no ka say 8 players be breaking them out last week we say Barca person mo ton 8 players no. No mo raise 30 million euros. Sa 8 players na Christiansen di wo. Me no ka say on say medical ye Emerick Laporte El Nassr person mo ja no kwan. Say El Nassr eja Emerick Laporte kwan a o me decide so be call Barcelona cover Christiansen. E de naba. A o mu kura be 15 million euros. Barca for ne says can be mede. Because when a full profit Christiansen ba free. And it say El Nassr the 50 million euros e be fa Christiansen on beje. And it's a period no ban sa season so Barca for free power. Chris Frank say na free. Hector Villarreal na free. Marcos Alonso na free and Christiansen free. And it Barca say El Nassr for the 50 million euros ne ba on beje no maton. John Stones a City center back. Afi we ankoyi. Ruben Dias ohwe players ahodo Nathan Akeni Akandia. Eno anema Man City yes on bepe center back. Omo ko Barcelona yes omo ko pe Pau Kubasi Barca for abom return. Me no wo ka say wa wuti Manchester City for Bastoni from Inter Milan.
Dey emre bi o se Pep crack na kasa. O fili no.
Bon say the ball so no oye ball playing center back. Yes, Inter is say no Man City for Bastoni and so etimi aba. Me no ka say Fenerbahce for management e wo England. Na management no e mpanyimfo mienu na be pie mo England. Hamdi Akim Ana Mario dos Santos almost sporting director omo ba be share Manchester United for Sancho Sancho Fenerbahce mpanyimfo abepiem England sesi eye mpanyimfo mienu Mario dos Santos a ono air sporting director ana Hamdi Akin or vice president ma Fenerbahce
am say Jose no nya na dey so beje league
ti
na Galatasaray players o muto e o pe player ni Galatasaray compete a Sancho
enti ese mpanyimfo na bepiem a on be negotiate for Sancho for Fenerbahce said the only two and Liverpool ni Florent Wirtz there no say the third offer no the keka kono Liverpool simfo abesom se bibia to toma next week Florent Wirtz back when medicals dey Liverpool
kwame mu nso mu ana
oh package
also pay 150 now so the 130 aba also
on say is kind of mo pay no okeka bibia ne bonuses ni boma na the back euros say 150 million euros no Liverpool third bid na do 150 million euros by the end Liverpool simfo ne penny guarantee fee no mo pay 150 by the Liverpool for the akeka hu ni na na man here 150 by the meeting say ni say the third bid ne dey Liverpool simfo ne ya so ma bibia to toma next week asem that they aba e dey ama Liverpoolians no next week bibia be boma Florent Wirtz betima kwa ne medicals senior man Eden Dzeko 39 good years die oda so si akan this season pokra no o she 21 goals de ma Fenerbahce Bologna aberum so mo pe Eden Dzeko Bologna pe Eden Dzeko 39 good years o so ye fit obetime si akan at the highest level enti Bologna for her so obetime nya Eden Dzeko ne contract be wie June 30th ya menya sure say Fenerbahce for be renew enti Bologna for say omo pe Eden Dzeko so you mean kwaku was stay lawyer to Spurs in penny for say omo nsi ne kwan so ka so obekwa Saudi for no any CAA base limited e din komo for so you mean na kwaku dia meti na no penny ye say Inter Milan ni AC Milan ni aso approach Son Heung-min no Inter any AC omo nyina approach Son Heung-min say Spurs no say ontimi embo biema ombra Italy no be si akan e wo ho Liverpool simfo aka kire Inter Milan for AC Milan for say Granit Xhaka e 50 million euros AC Milan asa approach Granit Xhaka na nim say AC Milan enkokrafo team no mpese omo te dia by Masalegri or see your experienced players AC Milan and normal approach Liverpool made for the Granit Xhaka after so free Arsenal call Liverpool no but perform very well and the AC Milan for so open no Liverpool for 50 million euros on first says Canembra no mo mba be fanti kwaku transfers ni de bebre na wa say
yes say Liverpool for mo se mun tue sika and Liverpool for yen spend it say Liverpool for Siam Liverpool between 150 million. Hey! The boy na get in the salary over 300.
And the man Manchester City twi omo ho no.
Hey!
Because it's kana e kom no. E Bayern na twi omo ho. Man City and pa twi omo ho by Liverpool for say we die killer betua
150.
Say first na Liverpool for say killer
130 and a third bid na
yes third bid na be
which is close to 150 million.
150
plus wages over 300,000.
Ansana ne papa beje ne dansa miao. Ne ma me beje ne dansa miao. Aha.
Liverpool for big.
Yeah, we dey kill it here. Kill it.
I go you see our football business no. IBB so you look at the kind of quality a player Nikita. Na wash your team no project our person here. No one be saying was a quality now player Nikita na beboa na. Say beboa. You cough out the money now they are for player na because football market no exercise ya na say ye ne a check. And a name as say players we all man looking at the kind of ball or more money or more value no. They put some sort of sikabi on them. I never was to be brave though. But that is football for you and things are changing. Kwaku
between Portugal and Spain. If it is a UEFA for introduce our competition way a UEFA Nations League no. 7 years man and 7 years no only 3 countries and it me win this UEFA Nations League no. Jodi can win here no na Portugal. Second team and winning UEFA Nations League na France. And the third team Omaya friend say Spain. So UEFA for introduce sa competition we no. Only 3 countries and it's winning sa tournament we be. Between Spain and Portugal, one yami aduma na obe winning no. Not just we winning sa competition we for the second time. Because 2 countries ni na no obi winning baako. Enti wa be winning yami aduma na no. Ona say ye beka say UEFA Nations League no. Why the most successful nation that was our competition with. Kwaku, Portugal and Spain have a long history between these 2 countries. About politics are more history kesi oho. About football mususu more history kesi oho. A date way back in 1921. Our more first official game. And as our rivalry in this history never between Spain and Portugal. By 2 countries we know. Almost year, na Spain dominated Portugal for dodo. Because since 1921, no 40 times as Spain and Portugal no. Spain winning 17. Portugal managed winning 6 and 17 being about draw. In terms of goals, Spain the ball back 77 and to Portugal team. And Portugal for also the goals 45 and to Spain at team. Even the last time Mpokra Yehu said Portugal, Spain, that was 2010. I almost saw 4-0, na a friendly game. So from 2010, Portugal ain't mention Spain BM. And historically, between these 2 nations, almost not Spain for no, dominated Portugal for no. That's the reason why, and then, Spain for a camper, say, once I Portugal, no be sure Monquadie, almost our history no say. Omusia Portugal biana omu dominate Portugal enya good results enti ma Spain for no some certain level of confidence we say nyame aduma china ombeshe Portugal win this game we by kwaku se ode no kra ka sempa in terms of individual qualities Spain for no entwe Portugal for musa men card your wo team uyi individual qualities say uyi player we the player we say in terms of quality Spain for in Portugal for him, sir. Because ye ka individual quality, or per country back or Europa, about individual quality, or more enough talent, or more quality, our national team camper, Portugal eka mubi. And to check your for Momo goalkeeper, Diego Costa, one of the best Albania ever Europe, or Portugal national team camp. Or more Nelson Semedo, our the right side of defense. Or more informed Nuno Mendes, our the left side, arguably one of the best left backs at this season, this season, Europe and Riasi at large. So what you center pair Ruben Diaz quality Gonzalo Inacio individual quality check Portugal for midfield they say chromo and the kind of materials and quality of Portugal midfield. A yet country or Bernardo Silva or Vitinha or Bruno Fernandes or Joao Neves. These are top midfielders individual qualities na wasra se omu kosia Spain na who expect say Portugal midfield no everything show class na check your final third no. And in terms of individual qualities who say compare Spain na wo share a team a friend say Portugal opien wo betima convince me say individual quality in Spain for no every Portugal for so because kwaku say wo Spain in pokra omu team na wo ho na Unai Simon onye goalkeeper betima ka che me say obro Diego Costa so omechire ho no Din house mono omombro Ruben Diaz moso. In the midfield, Spain ewo obi to say Merino, or Zubimendi, or Pedri mo. These are top midfielders are technical ability no so. But when they compare Portugal for na gab ne emunche. And in terms of individual materials, Metma Cacho said Portugal will be, Spain will be. By the difference between Portugal and Spain, the Spain team no successful. Omo winning matches. Omuji Euros in Nanya say Spain team that was say no the flexibility in our approach, the flexibility in our system, and omunina together players need to be performing and we to get the best out of them. And yes, Spain for no players are on modern mono extraordinary. So what check Spain and France in Pokra game there course now checking between these 2 countries. Who say though Oma qualified to the final stage by now modern mono and bro France for no so at the time of France ni Spain share you know now we check France modern ball now check Spain modern bar now individual qualities they say France for obi by the amount Spain omo perform omo ko omo nyina no aye the flexibility in omo system and omo approach so flexibility no bring the best out of omo players and make sure say omo timi ball as a collective body as a collective unit no many results omo pay by individual materials Spain for nim Portugal for nim sa so me expect Portugal for say nyame yadu mechina omo me good performance omo so ebe show say omo sa individual materials omo ko share Spain a omo nsuru kwaku yenye education kakra bi wa ha sei say football na ye bon de bia betina ha sei a ye kira de kakra ye frɛ bi say phases of play e wo football mu ye ka phases of player a period a game na ekoso a characterized by in possession and out possession then transition between the two it is a football ni ye bon na it is a merry go round ekwa na etwa ne ho a circle enti se unkrabo a ukrabo ulusuba a u defend se ukrabo a u attack sana football na koye enti se anye eya aye bi enti time bia no football ni twa ne ho eno na football ye kan say eye phases of play se over the Spanish national team a oma hoden pa in terms of the phases of play no eye so omukrabo na omu attack ene ye Spain for hoden enti se u ko Spain national team na and I'm say more technical players, more players, more ball skills, more through players, timi crab ball, timi pass very well, position, timi receive ball, a control ball. No, say crab ball na, na edne. So bet me ajebo ne from unsem, and also a dominating Spain. And to Spain na one day kesia ba kopano, in possession. Say Spain for ni crab ball. One day ba ko esa toso no, and I'm say Spain for no players timi breaking lines, timi ma supplies. Omutimi distributing omutimi creating into no eya omu win ball says here eya omu transition no eya na eya quick because omu runners Nico Williams eya runner Lamine Yamal eya runner and to say omu win ball na sa attacking transition no omu ya strong so any national team bia wakwa face Spain bia no Spain na hoden ye bienu eya in possession and eya transition to attack and eya Spain for hoden so Portugal for no wakwa share Spain no the first thing I will be say anytime be a Spain ekrabo piano eya na Spain 4% Pedro Porro and Kukuraya no mere right back and left back respectively no time be no omo acting as flying fullbacks football ye ka flying fullback fullback or patrol wing so okonenim no asaba nachi enti intente no no otimi ko otimi ba omo ye kan say omo ye flying fullback Pedro Porro and Kukuraya that type the moment as our two players na ebe sha ase say omo be acting as flying fullbacks no that moment na we expect Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams say omo move inside because Spain for nankasa team no say no in terms of a typical number 9 omo boss presence no omo nche ni sa ade ni bi wo ho say and anytime be a Pedro Porro ni Kukuraya be join attack omo be acting as flying fullback no na then one say Lamine Yamal ni Nico move inside eto de bin pokra sa two players no omo timi invert na omo underlap to get control in the midfield. So Portugal 4% almost stop Spain national team. The first thing you need to do is to pin the fullbacks of Spain players, no. Pedro Porro and Kukuraya. Say opinion man. Ube you so wingers, no. Meaning the obesha say diama Portugal. Say be Jota be operate on the rings. Rafoli obe operate. Consasa obeba. Sa players on bebo on be wingers diama Portugal, no. And what's Roberto Martinez? Emo mu pini Spain for fullbacks. Say opinion man. Omo ntimi join attack ni bebre omo ntimi invert mo benya control eliminate team e friend say Spain omo control ana omo offensive third no omo nya a lot of numbers one limit omo so we take Spain for na abranti a ono no ye friend Lamine Yamal ana Nico Williams these are the two most dangerous players over the Spanish national team and then nyame ado mechina me pe the battle between Nuno Mendes and Lamine Yamal
eno de obi e twin
on say this season Nuno Mendes wingers akese ni na wa stop yo including Mohamed Salah and to be on say Nuno Mendes no omo ye right wingers no wa stop yo mu nyina aka akra na ye friend say person di nyo Lamine Yamal ana Lamine Yamal so eche left back akese na ogu o mani ma ase
obey simple
on
Italy for ankese for kra no de ayo
o de ayo mo
but a very interesting battle.
Battle no.
Nuno Mendes,
Lamine Yamal.
Why they be winning battle?
Why they be winning this battle?
No. Come out say Portugal for wingers and omu pini fence Pedro Porro. Who leave Lamine Yamal 1v1 versus Nuno Mendes without helper? One creative problems in Nuno na. So
a hono na Obama one of midfielders no. Ama Nuno Mendes defensive cover. So them on say oka say o ma winger no. Aba be kan Nuno Mendes one. E kire say Spain for fullbacks ni benya that space, on benya that liberty to move around.
Exactly.
Na o ma create final third overload no. And it say opinion o ma ntimi mbo mani bebre. And at the same time o say Nuno Mendes onye obi obe support no mo timi stop Lamine Yamal. On say in football, the normal way of marking out a player is 1v1. By the moment they be 2v1, 3v1, no, a ill-fitting marking. Ill-fitting marking in football is abnormal way of marking out a player. So mostly teams ni be brena kushia Lamine Yamal. Omo use ill-fitting marking. Obo 3v1, not 3 players na Lamine Yamal. So background no stubborn.
Still no enfa.
Enti ni friend person di nya no. Opa fa players for do obeya no be.
Inter na decide so make channel so
still enfa. Enti sa oni Nuno Mendes battle no. Nyame adom echina ye pashe.
And a big games akwa we.
Otimi bo.
Ope big games.
And Nuno Mendes so big games otimi bo. Nuno Mendes big games ni nyina no wache wingers na show mbotom. And Lamine Yamal big games ni nyina so no wegu defenders ni ase.
But we dey ebeye
de. Ebeye de pa. And another and another battle aye the midfield. I say na was Portugal for nso nya kokotro. Merino. Zubimendi na bebo Pedri mo. Se Gavi be sha ase o minim de o be sha ase.
Minim se Fabian Ruiz be available there.
Fabian Ruiz so betima sha ase. On say Spain for midfielders no. De ball mo pa no, de ma omunya balance no. Omutimi interchange position.
Very well.
So omu interchange position a ball no bebo na no no bebo. Any a kind of dynamic balance in the midfield. And so obi agina the original position a omunya balance no e wo ho na static balance. And in terms of air horizontal balance and a vertical balance in fifi ometima ye ombe kura ball, ombe change direction, ombe break lines, ombe distribute. Oti ase ombe tima ye sa de no. Portugal so equally players ombe tima ye the same thing.
So the old Spain for midfield no. Omutimi individual omutimi rotate positions no.
Still now obesa do.
But now me say Pedri only became Marino almost to say 8 and 10.
Yeah.
8 and 10 at any point in time. Still no effort.
Still never.
This is Portugal so.
And no ni asem ne say what's Portugal so nya sa akokudro because say Joao Neves, Bruno Fernandes, Vitinha, Bernardo Silva man. These are midfielders are technically almost also. Vitinha betima control game no e the amount. Okra there, just Spain midfielders now Portugal midfielders na. Portugal a prime mover. Obi o creative kesi pa okra in Spain for in the shape of Bruno.
Exactly. 10 what the
in terms of creativity Bruno also.
Yeah. I was
number 10 rule. It is anka ucha Portugal midfielders na. I was some sunya akukudro to mu krabo ni bi. No mutimi bo. And another battle ebe hu onfinfin ho no. The Pedri Vitinha battle. On sa fi sa comparison ni wo ho. Why and timi dominating game onfinfin. Vitinha and Pedri. Ye be hu sa battle ni wo ho. But a game ba kwa me hu ni say the obe wini no. Wa be dominating finfin na be wini.
Who say Portugal be concede possession they are masking for no ana.
And na me so because okay Portugal any Germany first half na. First half no Portugal concede possession them are Germany for and we decided say o di yembe gu akiri yem defend deep na yembo long balls no say Ronaldo any sa ahode na o de betru mirika ni bebre et say enkani Ronaldo first now Ronaldo one top now obo high balls now per counter Ronaldo wo power or energy or pace acceleration level was so obetima kofa by say Ronaldo no ontimi nya sa de no it is a Portugal for obetima ma Ronaldo on say Ronaldo no on expect Ronaldo a enkani Ronaldo ni bi by a set your beshow opusu nya kan set e beshow ana tournament won na goals kese pawo enti wo so musu timi biem ekura ball ni bi omo ne Germany ni her second half ball na on be boy no at the time Conceição any Vitinha be mu no omo de omo nsa beto Germany for so e ho ne hu say Portugal for sure say omo attack omo create omo nya runners omo nya movement no ho enti wo so mususu bia nti kwaku e game ba ko no kure wo mpa ne ye say me hu Portugal so betima she go the same thing applies to Spain. It's both team to score most likely more than 2 goals betima play game we
more than 2 goals.
Yes. Both teams to score, you're very, very likely. Portugal, capable so obeshe. Spain, capable so both teams to score. The original, determine why be dominated the midfield. Okay. By Spain for no anytime you make Portugal, minim the war. No, I do want to Portugal for so. So psychologically, on say your stories now Spain for Neka say Portugal for no cost rubber from Bishop because historically from 1921. Omuche Portugal bia omuche Portugal. The last time a Portugal chased Spain was in 2010.
UEFA Nations League, Spain and Portugal bobo in the finals. Me share niema mienu bi pene ma movie on. So your coach, it's Roberto Martinez. Now said there's a lot of pressure on you. Now kwa kushia Spain national team. You don't start the game like you started against Germany. Debbie. I have one mistake in this coach Roberto Martinez here. I am saying this because there is a lot of pressure on the coach. A lot of pressure. Oh, papa no so. Omo feel say heroes no more than one konkan. And no ya pardon o. Say ya pardon wa at least UEFA Nations League nim there say oye bibia bro adwene ntiase so. Na yenya sa gidie ni wo bu say obetimi aboa yen e de yakobo sha asase so. The game against Germany he didn't start well. But the German team nankasa so performance akwa ye bibia wo. Because so what quality midfielders e team nimu. Now we right back some ye good wo hono ma. Kwaku minim die nti ese say the midfielder. We prove beyond reasonable doubt in the just ended season. So you're one of the best midfielders ever about the right back position. The game against Germany, or starting player friend say Joao Neves as a right back. Minim agreeing to a man taking that particular decision. But in football, there are certain players you more makeshift role, and there are certain players come command a makeshift role because in the position now Obono, so you're the best he's one of the best now many Ginas in the position now performing better than now. Oh Nelson Semedo. Oh Diago Dallo. And so Vitinha Joao Neves partnership. Finfi this season. One of the best in Europe, if not the best. And Kwadana Baba Benyantiase, Mumi Nuntemua. From Paris Saint-Germain, why you fortunate say when your coach are building these two players and so the amount. Bruno Fernandes the team our boy Manchester United in Ponyama Konka no. Kwaku season no. Premier League ni he was one of the best midfielders. Manchester United team leader he was the best player. In Europa League no boy no. He was one of the best players in Europa League ni Now you know and so what Gina Mranti ni me no anim eno no. Portugal team ni set, team ni done. No matter the kind of midfield, Spain dey baba be shiaw. When Mranti me nsa we won finfin on the day and never be conquer the amount. But against Germany or the Joao Neves go ball the right back and or benchy Vitinha. Game is say abra we changes in the second half. But the Spanish national team, so when you a good start against them Akwaku, you are going to be laughing at the wrong side of your mouth. And the idea about coach Roberto Martinez and the team going into this final. But I still believe that Lamine Yamal mobile I am so mobile this season. Nico Williams some performance. I am so more dynamic this season. Both for the national team and then their club football. I believe the Spain national team now, especially in the attack with these two guys, it was so much quality to devour any form of defense. It is going to be a very good game. I am here. But I feel that at the end of the day, Spain national team never for the ultimate. Looking at the collective effort of the Spanish national team, I'm from Omo. UEFA Nations League, actually, am I make us say a better view or perception about certain players. Who's the clubs to be quite semi-final na here, Players be one man, clubs be a tall one. A lot of the supporters the teams the chimpon team are no more attention into one down here. Mamma Dean House as an example. The performance or dynamic for the Spanish national team. Against team, in the semi-final stage, France. How we handle the attack of the French national team. Now, there's almost a central defender they put your foot wrong. Almost everything he did in the game was perfect. Ni movement, especially with the ball. Real Madrid supporter be okay BBM sure said anybody because Real Madrid in the just ended season. One of the problems almost facing here by almost central defense. Rudiger or Honman kaka. But in the absence of Rudiger, now it's extremely difficult for Mubena players to make me hold the fort. And so the amount it is already in housing a performance or dying the demand Spain. How good especially he carried balls from a Chihonum whenever he was in possession. Apart from timely interventions and blocks, our year were Chiro, and so the Spanish national team. A real the long balls, how to stretch defense with long balls, and yet defend the behind the Nimsa the The long balls of boy was on point, 100% long balls. Apart from dwell be a branch and call you be our winner. Say yes, say yes, from now a day to call for balls. It is all fair now. When you bet with the kind of performance or dynasty, and so the Spanish national team. Yeah. Oh, you are only free one more. Another player, and so you are Ryan Cherki. Kwaku, it is rumored that Manchester City power branch your friend say Ryan Cherki. Yes. Now you didn't come to see. Now on the Kwameka. The entire Manchester City trainer. If you Florian Wirtz do ni mo, Sika. Or Florian Wirtz more than our ball. He's giving you to at least 2 years of consistency. Last 2 seasons, any league year we last season, yeah. I didn't see a Manchester City player no, because or a midfielder, or more goals, as and more assist. In terms of creativity, he's there. In terms of goal scoring, he's there. Manchester City, see Kevin De Bruyne. Or maybe will be or not so much that kind of numbers. Manchester City this season, Kevin De Bruyne was one of the reasons in the City team in Koye, and yes, or a bad player. But the prime Kevin De Bruyne and I won in the past for Manchester City. How was it dictating games? Manchester City bobo last season the year hunesa. Your both season the year no. The more money in your bag. And some from Manchester City bobo. But De Bruyne and I only scored 4 goals and assisted 7. But in the past, Kevin De Bruyne Obama numbers are changing. If the City decided says Kevin De Bruyne a Kodia, and was so new be our no so man numbers when it comes to assist any goals. No, this are play and anything. Ebabesho. And we decided to make a Wirtz. Wirtz about 31 games that Bayer Leverkusen. Or share 10 goals and assisted 12 times for Bayer Leverkusen. It is good for such a midfielder in the Bundesliga and in the modern done for the past 2 years. But Nisikane was so. If the Manchester City decided to watch channel, so City they have to go for another player or not so the modern more throw. But they be a relatively obey cheaper their chain vets. It is rumored to play a friend say Ryan Cherki. Nisika Manchester City de Betono around 25 million euros to 30 million euros. Even if any bonuses, ebe carbon na could do 50. It is a very good buy. Make away because UEFA Nations League na a boy. Obi Oshe BBM wa branch any performance. Anything that make us say there are players. Omube po obi a ebi omu teams no supporters impo any opportunity you as our players no. The French national team baller. No, Monday the Spanish national team Obono. He came from the bench of about 27 minutes. But 27 minutes no Kwaku. To me, he was the difference maker. In 27 minutes. Abrante Baba Adriana Manchester City air panel. E de chere omo. Says I no nim here and you goals and assist. Obeche bako. And no assist bako for the French national team. He was one of the reasons in Tianema Sunday French national team no are the dying members of the game. Ne dribbles. Ne passes. Almost everything I know you won't feel for the team was on point. And all the total Florian Wirtz one in the just ended season, or the French League Kwaku on also about 30 games. Or she 8 goals and or assist 11. Our French League animal. It would in the numbers to Florian Wirtz the end one. Why not Florian Wirtz? Now Kokonya Brantia, your friend Ryan Cherki. It is a very good deal for team my friend Manchester City. And I believe it's a quality now Brantia in the chair. This season, and I say in the just ended season, any performance our dynasty, UEFA Nations League, clearly, Abrante say he's a quality player. Near Manchester City here from a midfielder, Obabe replacing Kevin De Bruyne, and your goals any assist, in just 27 minutes for the French national team, the debut game at the France, Obabe Chere or Parker, and Manchester City in term, no more first can conquer Abrante, because the numbers he gave last season. Another season here, it was better than every Manchester City midfielder in the English Premier League.
Only ball, but Questions and I'm for raising about any attitude. So attitude problem. Then start now to say Benafa.
Yeah.
Talent. Talent be obeying so talent. But
yes.
Attitude would be. I don't know how I'm for raising issues. Kakra, but it's Canada or form. But talents, any attitude, the city for looks like probably open.
Yeah.
You know. Affect city now.
Adia ba ko ne say on. Player betimi our manager we nchen. No hard ne pa. Or disrespectful pa. But we move to another club and another manager nsem na niema asesa na say player na asesa. Etoda based on nipa na one ne ye adwuma. Based on the surroundings, based on the happenings e wo honom no. E ma player timi dan suban bi adi. One of the players are in football history obi abeka ne say no hard ne pa. Mario Bewa Balotelli din beba otirim. But omo omunim Balotelli. Omo omunim Arsene Wenger. Almost anytime there were problems, Arsene Wenger coach Balotelli. But ofafo no ofre Balotelli no ne kasa pe akwala ne sesa na agene. Based on the kind of respect our papa if friend say Arsene Wenger. And I believe say they've been coaches who handle players na ha agene. But at the end of the day, they move into different clubs. They get a very good relationship or rapport with coach and players and stars. I make us a coach a friend say Pep Guardiola. I handle no. I don't see at the country was a Ryan Sheki a problem. And my papa a friend say Pep Guardiola. Obeti me handle no. Now at the end of the day, they here play anymore pa. The quality of the park and so on. Where you said no and you fast forward the film. And I think it is going to be a very good buy for Manchester City Bobo Kono to Kwaku. Rafael Leao finally when you form a AC Milan and penny for say obepeso will be free team nim na we will be out the football echi na only Rafael Leao menya sure say we be on wanwa enyo wanwa because nipa bia si so na obobra obia obabi opeso ode na bra bokokoju ene de opeso ye wa bra bom it depends on the nipa peso ye within the next 1 year, within the next 2 years, next 3 years. Now I decided no be taking decisions. I didn't be bang sad no person you are boom next 2 another 3 years. I never acquired the football pa. And it's all kwako PA manager you ready to obey Juman sem. Player friend is Rafael Leao. The new manager who was taking over AC Milan in the shape of Maximiliano Allegri. Any player na pa. We talent Syria animal. On him performance at what dynasty and the amount AC Milan Bobo Kono. And the manager is stepping your foot in the club. On him penny for a so for and the astronomer keep your branch of Rafael Leao because he feels he has the quality. I'll bet him the Abuano. It didn't care there. Some manager owe a lot of trust a woman or Gideon baby woman and Calbertana Kwaku now Nimian Waya Juma Boom. Nam Faswa the AC Milan Bobo Kono. But Rafael Leao as a player. For the past 3 seasons, another season of stepping a foot with AC Milan. Sign on the performance in this city. Last 2 seasons, AC Milan. Abrantiano about 35 games, and we share 15 goals. And man AC no assist 8 times. It will league anymore. It the performance has been the good performance from a winger and as a forward line player. In 2024 league, I boy about 33 games, and or share 9 goals, and assist 9. Another consistent performance. In the just ended season, about 34, Oshe 8, and or 68. And then at least for the past 3 seasons there. Anytime I remember season in the Italian Serie A animal, amount double figure goal contribution. Or can he go in assist Bumwa until he's a top performer. But over person can go see a watching. There are certain trophies and columns by Geneva Buaman in what you do. Your chance yesterday you bought Rafael Leao as one of the best forward line players ever football mono. Kwaku and net. But me no me no be atom. So why I expect to Brand and the ball be do no team do here. It is not only done by the player. Team a won ka ho. Manager on the be adwuma to count. There are certain managers are bring out the best in you. Shejao Neves. Vitinha. Today, your best midfielders will react your bomb because some of coach be na asia. Coach now refining players na man yama Sunday amomo. Rafael Leao only these players and well the Portuguese national team. I am sure some share our camper and Manchester are treble winners. They've won the Champions League. Respect I want more camp crumple be different. The level they have gotten, almost status our football be different. So Rafael Leao as a player nothing. No rest on your way because you tell Rafael Leao din. Na yan TV Vitinha mudin. Ni anti Jao never simudin. But to the Oma by Champions League winners are any certain status level of football one. May assure Sakwadan to be person movie. Now at least over going to a club or sharp project now air cosono and never do the level of person do. Oh, you are only free one more. AC Milan air build the project, yes, but time by never swabber. Even look at the players at AC Milan, yet it's almost in time. Or for Luka Modric, you and why no Kwakopeno, or Kope Granit Xhaka. Is this a project I wait to me now to go home? So within the next 2-3 years, and after 5 years, also a Champions League winner. Now you're back as if only deal with football more Bodiana. To me, it is a no. And if you say these are some of the reasons in here. Rafael Leao moving on because he feels on that platform in a bigger club than AC Milan. AC Milan is a very big club, no doubt about it. But in recent times, quite more fast why your money, and befitting the status they built in the past.
Now, Biggie, Rafael Leao on see Joao Felix Kwani Subiana.
Koku me hunesa. Yes. I feel say AC Milan team nankasa. In recent times, the Neman said down conquering for Mamo and a can't affected player. But even with that, unknown individually, the numbers as a forward line player, Oma, and Nanameka in the just ended season. Matches for boy in the 34 games. Oshie 8 goals, 68. And you're bad. And from a forward line player, on your number 9 and after on your striker. If he's playing his part, he needs a team or not so then the end back home. Nebe Peter because numbers we are one man. A binuma numbers are Andrew the other clubs, but are very relevant because of collective achievement with a team. And when I brand the international beginning one, Obe feels that he has to move on because baby our tenor. Why yet the SSO be the Amabo Bocono? At least on your shape, Waji Italian Serie A, Waji Coppa Italia, Waji Super Coppa Italiana, and so he has to move on for another opportunity. I bet him elevating a career, and he's not going any younger. 25 years. It's many a branch and again if he decides to move on at this stage. Koku, a few managers and it's many players in your problem. Now almost solve a problem. No, Abra on my pamu player. And as a player in free team, now after almost year Juma, and the kind of success almost share. This is inside the NBS. It's the young Kai Crown and keep it me a Fabi film. At least you Osman Dembele and then the coach Luis Enrique or Paris Saint-Germain. There were problems between these two. Papa decided say, "Oh my Pamwa Brantiano, or best solve a problem, or best patch those holes." I would team no. No one you play and no Juma. Omo yes, I didn't know to keep peace pipe no. And Yama Konkama Paris Saint-Germain Bobo now today with peace and collaboration. Omo achieve the Paris Saint-Germain Bobo ni see so na achieve that. That is number one. Number two, Omo achieve idea there is no club in France. Etimi achieve that by winning the treble. And so of France mind him because Omo na buy first team of France. Omo team ya winning a continental treble because of peace and it's almost settled omo differences. E wo team nimo. Meka dia baba bisi a goalkeeper, your friend Andre ter Stegen, and then the coach. Oh Barcelona, Hansi Flick so. Hansi Flick says here, any player who not a goalkeeper and there are issues because of few since a goalkeeper and free injury by goalkeeper and Subaya or down a dinner sasa. One of the reasons Cynthia Wako Fasa and Komo in Albania said, you see the game against Inter Milan. Goalkeeper no walk straight to the coach, catch your coach and say, only tested him free no more, no name conquer goal post him. And come who a player who free injury aba. You jitum sena or your starter. You jitum sena or more more so. You jitum sena never come kind of out. But a few players the free injury by or buyer, no more hitting the ground running. A lot of them. I was so sharp here from ground zero. Unya game time. Now build whole consistently now 100% okay to start games or play well for a club. Now coach in Ankasa or performance are what dynasty. Coach in Ankasa or fitness level. Coach in Ankasa who the status you've got into after free injury buyer, no more opportunity. So I feel we are still in the kokoda. But the starting buyer on all time, he felt he was the number one. And he feels he's a better goalkeeper than Chelsea. It's any Chelsea if you go post him, no name them. And I'm coach in the
I think it's the biggest decision, mistake or yeah. I said chin I'm going to me percent. Because I feel say Saint Castel no one France afin and no one ton one. In Barcelona remember the next season.
Yes.
Because be in the AC but over there you was a still no one was.
So
it's almost rush into this whole
and what piano want to ask him. And I believe say it was totally wrong. And your coach in the sense of performance. No, if you say injury now, if you have an affair, we're 100% okay. I'll bet me at the goal post Mudiamae. And say your coach in the mouse our opportunity, no, without any form of pressure. And as a duresa, and at this stage, you can come here different. And Konuaka said him being almost our game time, no, almost our opportunity, no. But you forced for it, and then now Kofa win in Adiaba. Clearly, no. He's a senior player in the Barcelona team too. So coach now had one sort of differences in a year. We've seen a lot of players, or senior players with team. No matter that team, you have problems, and the other players in the coaches. No, it's baby on my baba do no. I'm making sure. Say, opposite player and tena, Assam Naba, and it's another Osman Dembele there, example. Only player and tenacity, only goalkeeper and tenacity. No one come on, no come on, no mubediano. Arrive at a conclusion, no one settle on differences, no one yajuma. But yes, I ask a coach in the few say, on to says you only play and temwa. More fast to call in 2000 the next season more. Because at least goalkeeper na I can one seven. The assessor Yama Barcelona be our year. He's won the Champions League for Barcelona. Wajil La Liga 6 times. Wajil Copa del Rey 6 times. And the test again as a goalkeeper. There is nothing to prove again how Barcelona will go him. And this funny few say, I want to settle the differences between the two. No, but better now. A better problem the Barcelona. So I'm betting me settle they are fine. I'm on settle on Twasso. But I'm to me, the goalkeeper should find his way out because at the end of the day, there is nothing again to achieve or fight for. Our Barcelona Bobo Kunim Gogu. Kakrabi on Victor Osimhen. Osimhen performance are what done do with Europe. From the Italian Serie A. Edge the top scorer award. No movie free on him. Aquaco Pimo Galatasaray. And in numbers or the Mayer. What Chelsea consistently he's a good player. Time Napoli did the Italian Serie A. And Victor Osimhen almost striker. He scored 26 goals. And already did the top scorer award. The following season, Oshe 15 goals and a demand almost. He still gave a double figure. It's clearly consistency here, Juma. Okopimo Galatasaray. Around 30 matches and a branch and a boy. About some matches, no. Oshe a year 26 goals. Our Turkish league anymore. It's consistently. We're proving beyond reasonable doubt. Say he's a typical goal poacher. Opportunity be open goals, no. Now you do one few say and can alternate Europe. No one born the football honor never my branch and irrelevant. But what he has got into clearly or catch say we'll move to Saudi Arabia there. Then there's nothing to fight for again in football. A lot of these African footballers. Maybe one person the ball and go do Nukoku and it's all betting me the African best. Victor Osimhen achieve it because the players the performance and everything. Say you be around the home common every players in the album Africa. And it's an African best player na all pair. What me achieve is hard already. So the stage he has gotten to clearly Abranteni Kishiska 40 million euros a year at this stage of his career. May I sure say no one Abranteni be there. Who you know if you want striker only ne kwa compete with Al Hilal. And you possible say Mitrovic bet me free. So when free on what now, I don't see Mitrovic as a better striker than Victor Osimhen. In the just ended season was Saudi Pro League, you know. Mitrovic has 19 goals. It will league anymore. And the man Hilal Bobo. In their competition, a year Champions League anymore. Or she has 6 goals and the man. Victor Osimhen for Galatasaray in the Europa League about 7 matches, 6 goals. And clearly, he's proven beyond reasonable doubt. Say, our corner Mitrovic will not compete poor. He's a good player. Oh, but we are competing well. But if he makes this move, it is motivated by nothing but Sika. And at this stage, they also achieve you African or and Victor Osimhen, and you're 18-year-old, on your 20, on your 21. The football feeling quite anymore.
Galatasaray for the brutal. Almost say, or more say, we betray or more. Galatasaray and Tamsika 15 million or set player back. Or one go as far as we meet as Canadian amount. Intika Onje and I'm saying Victor. But don't say si for.
Galatasaray in common. So Ujina baby Galatasaray Jinana. Only Galatasaray for Bayagane. But Ujina baby Osimhen so Jinana, Osimhen so Bayagane. Obia case. Osimhen the man here Galatasaray for ni Jani say. At a point now moment opportunity no. Na yes I had to Osimhen be team crampo. E wo Europe. And on man that opportunity in the platform. And they feel say Alisa Jidena inya wo mu no. And can repay us by staying with us. And I'm not just from Kubi the Amana because what the boy Juma Pao. So about 30 league matches, now we shot 26 goals. Now we ma 65. What boy Juma Brad in Tiasia. But no cre woman say, what's him to see a bibini? The Biamaka say, yeah, dear BSS, we be motivated by Tika. That is very true. But what's him a baby Ojinano, and into an amateur said, yes, African football, I know. What's him and a ding kaya dada. And this all decided on Pebium, no be movie aqua jiska. Mini problem.
Okay.
Because what's him a go to on Ballon d'Or. African best player now, no be.
Or move for Sika.
Baby, I want to do need your jiska na ye.